Welcome to our demo on how to use UiPath robots to process invoice files into SAP. So we're starting off with various kinds of invoice formats. So you can see that all of these are different. Now, for a human, it might be easy to process this because they're all quite similar, but for a robot, for a computer program, it's a bit more complicated because it needs to learn how to adapt to these similarities so that not all information is in the same place. And that's why we're using AI Center from the document understanding framework. So I will start the robot and show you how this works. So you can see the robot has started. Here I have the output folder in which you will see the Excel files that are being generated as a data output, which is like an intermediary output before putting the data into SAP. So you notice in the bottom right corner, it said at one point document classified at invoice. That is because in your document processing pipeline, you might have different kinds of documents, such as remittance advices or bank statements or purchase orders. So it needs to identify which kind of document is being processed and in order to apply the proper rules. Now, what I have here is a tool called Validation Station, which is basically a prompt for a user to provide feedback to the robot. So I will take over the mouse and validate that the extraction has been done properly. Now, I don't have to do this for all invoices. You notice that some of them were processed fully, but sometimes the algorithm considers it necessary to request validation, and then it prompts this screen. So I can see that the invoice number is correctly extracted. I can see the invoice date is the January 25th, as it's written here. So even though it was written here in clear text and not in a date format, the algorithm knew how to extract it. So this is the power of AI. Here we have the total amount, also sanitized, so clear without a dollar sign. So we have clear data to work with. And then I can check the line items. Here we just have a single line item, so it's easy to check, and I will confirm that everything is okay. Now the robot immediately takes over and continues with the processing. You can see here we have three invoices processed already. And now I have another one to validate. So again, I have the invoice number properly extracted, the invoice that it's okay, the total amount 9,050, correct. And then I check the line items. So even though we don't have here line separators, I can see that it has properly highlighted everything, and for me to validate more easily, and I can see that the data is also correct. So I will just confirm. And then the robot continues to process the remaining invoices. Now you see it's starting to add data into SAP. So it's logging into SAP, opening the correct transaction, and you can see it already adding the data. So no more context switching. You can see the speed at which it's working. It's much faster than a human. You actually cannot see all the fields that it's inputting because it's also adding cost center and tax jurisdiction. So these ones are fields more to the right. So you can see it's adding line by line. everything, and it's processing all the data in bulk. Mm. Now, of course, we're showing this because it's a demo, but normally this would be done behind the scenes by the robot, so you won't need to have a human operator who's overseeing the robot activity. So they can work on their own 24/7 while your accounting team or the human colleagues are doing their work on their own machine undisturbed. And that was it. It closed SAP, so it after it's done, it closes. It can also send reports as such as this one. And you also got a status message from SAP, which the robot has read and put in the report. So when a human processor is getting the status report, it can already know what was going on and react if something needs manual intervention. So thank you for watching. I hope this was insightful.